at 9.
News First, Sri Lanka's #1 news provider, has won the trust of the people. Why? Because we have committed ourselves to highlight the issues faced by you.
Now, News First reporter Joel Outskoon travelled to the borders of Nuwara in search of people in a rural village who are deprived of a basic necessity, electricity.
News First.
අපේ ගමට ලොකු ගැටලුවක් වෙලා තියෙනවා මේ විදුලිය නොමැතිකම.
The village of Galkadawala is located approximately 22 kilometers from Nitandahina. One has to travel through Walapane on the Kandy Randanigala road to access the village. We at News First received a call a few days back from an area resident from Galkadawala who expressed the chaotic situations faced by the area residents. As a result of his call and as a response, we are now, as One News First team, moving towards the rural village of Galkadawala to look into the problems of these people. We left Colombo in the wee hours of the morning. However, by the time we reached our destination, the sun had begun to set. The Galkadawala village is home to over 600 people from 166 families. These villages lack basic infrastructure facilities, with many by-roads covered in thick forest and a firebrand being the only tool providing light to those travelling at night. There is no proper electricity supply to this village, but those living here hope that their children will one day have access to a bright future.
I have 4 kids and all of them are studying. I am doing everything I can to provide a good education to my children.
The children here hope that someday light will dawn on their rural village and bring with it hope of a better tomorrow. News First will bring you more details on this story tomorrow. Joel Outskoon reporting for News First from Galkadawala on the borders of the Nuwara district.
Now, Shamir, this was not only not the only problem that was uncovered by Joel Outskoon during his travels to Walapane. He filed several reports, and we have another report that will be coming up at 9 tomorrow.
News First review report features tonight of a dilapidated road in Kandalama. Danushka Jagat Arunasinghe filed this report.
What you see here is the dilapidated state of the Ihala Aravala road in Kandalama. The locals request that this road be immediately renovated. Locals have planted banana saplings in the potholes on the dilapidated road as a mark of protest.
News First, you reporter Mama Danushka Jagat Arunasinghe Dambulle sitter.
Amazon founder Jeff Bezos has got his hands on the Washington Post with a price tag of $250 million, which puts him at the helm of one of the United States' most influential publications. Join me, Alexander Holmes, at News First International Desk as I track down the events that led to the sale of the Washington Post to a man who revolutionized internet retailing.
On business news tonight, the Central Bank of Sri Lanka has decided to issue 17,615 million rupees of treasury bills on behalf of the government.
Let me remind our viewers, Mahina, yesterday the CBSL said in its statement it will be issuing 12 billion rupees worth of treasury bills through an auction.
Now, the CBSL said that the auction held today for treasury bills issued on an annual interest rate of 10.57% brought in bids amounting to 25,315 million rupees. Well, it's time now for the newspaper cartoon of the day.
On the News First International desk now. After 8 years of family ownership, the Washington Post has been sold to Amazon. The $250 million purchase by Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, puts the man who revolutionized internet retailing at the helm of one of the United States' most influential publications. Alexander Holmes reports.
The Washington Post has enjoyed legendary status over many decades, breaking such stories as the Watergate scandal, which led to the resignation of President Richard Nixon in 1974. Even though the Post is the 7th largest daily in America, it has suffered from many of the same issues that other large newspapers in the country continue to face. The company's newspaper division reported an operating loss of $49.3 million for the first 6 months ending June, a telltale sign of falling advertising revenue and readership. Earlier in the year, Donald Graham, the chairman and CEO, along with his niece Catherine Weymouth, the Post's publisher, decided to put the Post up for sale after reviewing the newspaper's financial forecasts. In a letter published on the Washington Post website, Jeff Bezos, seeking to calm the nerves of agitated Post employees, promised no radical change. Bezos wrote, "The value of the Posts do not need changing. The paper's duty will remain to its readers and not to the private interests of its owners." According to the Washington Post, Amazon.com is to be kept separate from the Post deal. Jeff Bezos' newest acquisition will help put him as one of the country's most influential content creators in the United States. He clearly wants the newspaper to adapt. In an open letter posted on the website, he stated, "The internet is transforming almost every element of the news business, and that we will need to invent." Bezos will enjoy an increased political influence, and how he uses his political influence when his interests do not align with Washington could prove telling, especially with a new proposed sales tax on online retailers.
As we mentioned earlier on in the bulletin, the U.S. State Department has ordered the U.S. Embassy in Yemen to be evacuated as a result of the threat of Al-Qaeda that has triggered temporary shutdown on 19 American diplomatic posts across the Middle East and Africa. The department in its travel warning said that it ordered the departure of non-emergency U.S. government personnel from Yemen due to continued potential for terrorist attacks. Meanwhile, the United Kingdom also issued a travel warning to its citizens in Yemen, warning to leave now in light of security threats.
We are just a click away. Log on to www.newsfirst.lk for the very latest stories on Sri Lanka as well as across the world. The website once again, it's www.newsfirst.lk.
Well, Shamil, there's a lot going on in the sporting arena and a special day for Sri Lanka as we take on South Africa in the third T20 International. We have Aaron Rajaratnam who will be joining us for an update on sports.
Aaron, tell us what's happening regarding the T20 third encounter between South Africa and Sri Lanka.
Thank you, Shamir. Well, Sri Lanka is taking on South Africa in the third T20 at Hambantota right now. Now, Shamir, if Sri Lanka loses today's game, they could possibly lose their number one spot as the top-ranked team in international T20s. South Africa, however, has already claimed the series 2-0. Still, for all, an important game for the home team. Now, Lasith Malinga and Kumar Sangakkar were rested for today's game, while Suranga Lakmal and Nuwan Kulasekara have found themselves in the playing 11. Taking a look at today's game, the Proteas won the toss and elected to bat first. Sri Lanka had a very good start. Nuwan Kulasekara dismissed Proteas opener Henry Davids for a duck. Quinton de Kock who came in next, made 16 runs. However, visiting skipper Francois du Plessis provided the big shots for South Africa. He made a swashbuckling 85 of 65 balls, hitting 3 sixers and 10 fours. JP Dubuni ably supported him, made a quick-fire 51 of just 34 balls, and the Proteas made their way to a challenging 163 for 3 wickets in the allotted 20 overs. Now, previously, the Proteas had defended 115 and 143 in their previous encounters, so they have gone one step higher. This time they made 163. Lakmal, Kulasekara and Ajantha Mendis bagged the wicket each for Sri Lanka. Chasing 164, the Lankans were 102 runs for 3 wickets after 13 overs a short while ago.
That brings us has been just in 37. Wow! Gone. It should go over the boundary. It does. Watching Chandamore. That was a poor delivery. but he's hit it straight.
Let me quickly update the scores for you, Aaron. It's 106 for 3 wickets after 13 overs, 106 for 3 after 13 overs. We have some news from the Sir John Tarbert Trophy as well, correct me if I'm
That's
wrong.
right, more news from the local arena. Now, two athletes, Sendaru Pereira and VR Himasha, both of them set new meet records at the 40th Sir John Tarbert Junior Athletics meet in Diagama.
Sendaru Pereira from Museus College set a new meet record in the under-14 girls 200 meters event, clocking a time of 26.92 seconds. Himasha Kure from the Ratnavali Girls School in Boralla also registered a new meet record in the under-15 girls high jump event, clearing a height of 1 meter and 65 centimeters. Meanwhile, BHS Rajapaksa of the Ratnavali Girls School in Gampaha claimed first place in the under-15 girls 200 meters event, clocking a time of 26.35 seconds. WM Chanaka Madhushankar from the Hivalla Kandura Mahavidyalaya in Badulla won the under-15 boys javelin throw event, clearing a distance of 45 meters and 76 centimeters.
Well, also we move to the international arena in some more sports news. The MLB's highest paid player, New York Yankees slugger Alex Rodriguez, said he will appeal against MLB's decision to ban him for doping, and he also says that he plans to continue playing for the New York Yankees until his name is fully cleared.
Shortly after MLB announced it was suspending baseball's highest paid player for 211 games through the end of the 2014 season, Alex Rodriguez issued a statement confirming his intention to challenge the decision. Another 12 players, including 3 Major League Baseball All-Stars, were handed 50-game suspensions following a long investigation into links between star players and a Florida clinic accused of supplying them with performance-enhancing drugs. Rodriguez's ban is the longest doping penalty ever handed out by MLB, and he stands to lose about $36 million in pay if the suspension, ruling him out of the rest of this season and the entire 2014 season, is upheld.
Well, that's it from the world of sports today. It's back now to you guys.
Aaron, to be very honest, last year in November when I was in the US, I happened to be at a match that was played by Alex Rodriguez from the New York Yankees and Atlanta Knight Riders. And it was a wonderful and enthralling match at the end of the day.
I'm interested to know who won.
Atlanta Knight Riders won the match.
Okay, bad luck for the Yankees there again.
Talk about it.
Well, with that, we wrap up today's primetime news. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Mahina Bongzo.
And I'm Shamir Rasuldeen.
I'm Aaron Rajaratnam for Sports First.
Hotline 0114-896-896. www.newsfirst.lk. Feedback at newsfirst.lk.